We're drawing a dinosaur today, and it's a Spinosaur. Why a Spinosaur, you ask? Why not the universally loved raptor or T-Rex? Well, that's a good question, and all I have to say to that is, welcome to the Sketching Greyhound. Thank you so much for dropping by. This will not be just a drawing, this will also be a commentary video once more, but I will tell you about that in a second. This is Jesse inviting his pack to a playing session. If you want to make sure that you're also a member of his pack, subscribe to this channel and ring that bell and make it official. But now, let's start. Folks, I have to say, I'm normally a pretty calm guy. If you have seen my videos, I think you know that. But I'm even calmer in real life. You don't know what kind of face stretching exercises I have to go through before recording so you can see any kind of emotion on my face. But recently I rewatched Jurassic Park 3. I'm always watching something while I'm drawing. And I rewatched that movie, and it just drove me crazy. So crazy that I felt compelled to draw something that I can talk about it. And I selected this time something more creative, a dinosaur. So not the person I will be ranting about, but I still have to rant about this role, not the person herself. So I'm talking about the female role in this movie, and funny enough, there are only two, so not that difficult to guess which one I mean. I mean, in Jurassic Park, in the first one, we have pretty solid, strong women for the time, I would say.
It ought to be me really going.
Why?
Well, and you're,
Look, we can discuss sexism and survival situations when I get back.
You have Ali Sattler, which is a pretty athletic and hands-on scientist in this case. You have Lex, the older sister that is protecting very courageously her brother from the raptors. They also have their weak scenes, it's all a bit but still, they are pretty strong characters. Let's skip over Jurassic Park 2. And then here we are with 3. Do you know the Bechdel test, where they take a look at the dialogues of two women, and if there is even one in a movie where two women are talking about something else but a man? And how many movies fail this test? Scarily enough. Forget the Bechdel test for this movie. There aren't two women ever talking to each other. There are only two women in this complete movie. And I'm deliberately not counting that moderator at Ellen's speech, or the women at the digging site in the beginning, because they are also not necessarily there to show strong women.
Billy, I don't think I'm doing this right.
You can see Ali Sattler also, yes, okay, and she is pretty, well, she doesn't even see a dinosaur in that movie, so she doesn't have to be courageous or anything. So we will skip also her, and then we get to the role that really creams my corn. I think that's the saying in English. I hope that's the saying in English. Anyway, I'm talking about Amanda Kirby. So I want to make 100% clear that I am not talking about the actress. Thea Leoni does a great job of playing this character. I'm not complaining about her or what she's doing here. I'm complaining about the role specifically and how it is written. But let me give you a very quick synopsis of the movie. It is pretty straightforward. So Amanda's current boyfriend or husband, I'm not sure if it is even said, has done some parasailing bonding activity with her son when they get lost on the dinosaur island. Isla Sorna, Isla Nubla, not that important at this point in time. Anyway, Amanda and her ex-husband, the father of the boy, trick Dr. Alan Grant, as well as a student of his, a colleague, a mentee, whatever, to join them and find the boy. And then it already starts. Amanda is the archetypical damsel in distress, and it is painful to watch. They show her as so naive and dumb and dependent on the man around her all the time. I mean, it starts with this spectacular scene.
Ben!
Amanda, honey, Dr. Grant said that's a bad idea.
What's a bad idea?
I mean, they did not just appear on that island. They planned this to a certain degree. They tried all the channels to get an official travel or rescue okay from the local government and so on, the embassy. They knew what they were getting into and that they entered a dangerous dinosaur island. I get it, she wants to find her son as fast as possible, but she's landing on a big island, thinking a megaphone will help her and that nothing else hears her. She should know by herself that this is a bad idea. But unfortunately, it gets quite early, quite clear that she serves two purposes in this movie. Number one, being the scared one and the one that has to be protected. And number two, to show the character growth of the father, Paul Kirby. And to fall back in love with him because he's so courageous. And he has lost weight.
You look good.
So do you.
As the official damsel in distress of this movie, she of course screams a lot. I cut out all the gruesome close-ups of that thing. This scene goes on for much too long. And because she cannot control her emotions, it's bringing them in a lot of trouble. And the men have to fix it.
Get her back, Mr. Kirby.
First, she makes them stumble into the nest of the raptors. And then she made them stumble almost directly into the trap that the raptors laid out for them. There is one scene that feels like they try to enter kind of a redeeming, courageous scene in there. They show that she hands over the raptor eggs back to the raptors. But it's not really as if she has a choice. And she does not do much more than distracting the raptors as long as it's necessary for a man to save the situation. Exactly my reaction to that. So no, not a redeeming scene. I don't know if you can tell that this makes me pretty angry. So let's stop talking about it. I mean, after all, the only real story reason for her being there is getting them into trouble and falling back in love with her dad. And that is sad. I mean, I really like this scene with Ellie in the beginning because they often skip over when they break up a pairing from a first movie. So in a sequel, sometimes you don't get the actor or something, and they just say they broke up off screen. And so this is kind of refreshing that they are showing Ellie and her new family, and that she's pretty happy. So I like that aspect. But no, I won't get started again. So yeah, that's all I wanted to rant about. So am I a snowflake? You tell me down in the comments. I'm very much looking forward to your opinion on this. But let's jump to the picture. The Spinosaur I selected here is actually some art from the game Jurassic World Alive. I am actually playing that game, so it was pretty funny that the picture that I found and that I thought would be cool to draw would be from that game. And it's the Jurassic Park, so not from the third movie exactly, but I would say it still counts. Yeah, I'm playing that game, and funnily enough also, so more and more coincidences. One of my clan mates has also a YouTube channel, The Drawmination, and he motivated me to try drawing a dinosaur. So shout out to him, and while I'm at it, shout out to the whole clan, citizens of Bedrock. You rock, guys. I'm sorry for the pun. Anyway, I was a bit hesitant to even try this. From the very beginning I knew that I would not really go for every single scale, you know, drawing every outline or something, even where you can see it. So I did not really know how this would turn out. I was a little bit afraid that it would look a little bit furry and not scaly. But I think it's actually pretty alright in that regard. So also the eye itself was not that easy to really make it distinct as an eye, because it's very small. Very small on this pretty big beast. So yeah, I think because of that very white that I put only in there, not even at the teeth. I thought about it, but they are yellowish anyway, so no white for them. But because of that very wide point in the eye, I think that was enough to really make it pop more. So I think that also works. So yeah, all in all, I'm really happy with this, I would say, for my very first dinosaur. I had a lot of fun trying this, and yeah, this is the Spinosaurs. If you would have preferred that I talked a little bit more about the differences between dinosaur faces and human faces and how to draw them, I'm sorry that I didn't. But it was actually not that different. I drew it as I think I draw every portrait. So the features are different, the proportions are quite different. But the approach is kind of the same. So if you're hesitant to try something like that because it's something you don't have experience with it, just try to reuse what you know. Not how things look, like a human eye does not fit on a dinosaur, but how you approach to draw stuff that you know. You can transfer a lot of that to stuff that you have not drawn yet. So don't be afraid of a challenge. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time. I'm looking forward to seeing you again, perhaps in the next video. Have the greatest of days and goodbye.